And now TSPN presents Open Mic Friday with Mike Spence and Butter.
Hello, I'm Mike Spence, and thank you for joining us on Open Mic Friday. Another week has gone by, and we had an exciting week here in Amador County, and we're here at the end of a long week. We have been seeing a lot of different events throughout the summer. It's been very active. I hope everybody's enjoying the farmers market and everything that goes on during the summer. But I've been trying to get Carla Meyer, our guest, the general manager from Amador Transit. Now, it used to be another name. It used to be called Arts and all the arts buses and everything, and now the name is Amador Transit, AT, which I like. I think
it's simple, it's more transit oriented, and now you have an actual arts foundation here, so it's a good thing we changed our name.
Well, thank you for joining us on Open Mic Friday. This isn't the news, this is just a loose on the air. We talk about anything that's on our mind at the end of the week. And,
well, thank you for having me.
There's a lot going on, obviously, in the transportation arena. We just opened up the new transit center, and I went to the opening of that, which was a fantastic event to see everything that's been going on up there, and we've been trying
facility.
to, get people to go up there and take a look at that. It has the Visit Amador, or the Amador tourism with Maureen Funk, part of that, integrated into it. And then it has all of the areas where you can wait for the different shuttles, the carpool areas, and people are carpooling. And I understand all the way out to Sacramento. That's growing. And
they are, and we when I came here, I made that the hub of the system. So all of our routes begin and end there. And Gold Country Wine Tours also now is operating out of there on the weekends when they start their tours. So that works for them too, because they can have people park there and then take them out to the wine country.
Well, perfect. It's one of the most attractive transit terminals I've seen, with the view of a lake out there.
The view is incredible.
Those offices in that area are really quite something. I'd never been up to that part of the hill there.
If I'd been here before Maureen, that's where my office
the offices,
would be.
Those people have the best office in the county.
They do.
That's quite nice out there. But I've seen, obviously, the Amador Transit buses. I live way up country, and I see the buses way at the end of Sugar Pine. I mean, you're servicing, as general manager of the transit district, you're serving an area that's pretty spread out.
And that's the demographics of Amador County. And second to Jackson Sutter Creek, the highest population is up country. So, we're obligated, in my opinion, to provide that service for those taxpayers up there.
Well, I know even when my son was growing up, you had the arts, they used to call it the arts bus, but it used to take him all the way to Kirkwood for, less than $10 or something. It was like, take the bus.
We're still working on that. We're actually still working with that.
That's a hard service to maintain, I'm sure.
No, really it's not that. It's that we have to get enough people to utilize the bus. We talked last year to the high school ski coach and thought, well, maybe we could, transport them, and then if we got a few more of the public on there, it would pay for itself. And if it pays for itself and we add more people, then the fares go down. But at this point, it's still just a work in progress.
Hard to get enough people on that bus, especially early in the mornings. But more kids need to really take advantage of having Kirkwood so close by. That's a resource that my kids grew up with. I just love it up there. And when you see how things work out in terms of getting those kids up there and the extension, and it's really valuable.
It's so much safer. As a parent, I used to put my kids on the ski bus when they wanted to go, and then they didn't want to do it, and I ended up driving 2.5 hours in a minivan with the kids and the skis and the snowboards, and I was exhausted coming down that hill late at night. So for safety reasons, you got a professional driver behind the wheel. They're not exhausted from a day of skiing. It's just a good idea.
Yeah, it's a very interesting aspect of the whole transit thing, but you manage, all of these fixed route systems now, and these buses are running on time. I've been checking, and I've been going to some of the terminals, because we did have Charles Field on the news this week, and we've been talking transportation, and I've just been opening my eyes to it in terms of, wow, this is, it's actually 20 after that bus is pulling up. And
it was a bit willy-nilly before. Part of how we did that was we added, under federal law, if you run fixed route, you have to run complimentary paratransit, which is for people with disabilities that can't get to the fixed route, or you have to do what they call fixed route deviate, which means you take that bus and deviate to go get people. Well, you cannot depend on a fixed route because every day you don't know who you're going to be picking
Right.
up, and you're staying there at 20 after, and the bus may come at 10 till. So it makes it really hard for people to ride. So we started the Dial-A-Ride segment in the Jackson-Sutter Creek area.
And those are brand new buses.
They are.
I've seen those. They're very impressive. And,
Very pretty too.
And you have a video, we should mention, that's
Yes.
wonderful. I don't know if it's 20 minutes longer. It's a lengthy video of the whole new transit center, and then the Dial-A-Ride service. And you had a couple of endorsements by a couple of real cuties. They were probably in their 90s. Two ladies
they were, yeah.
who were on that bus, and they were talking about, just the sense of freedom and the connectivity and being able, it was their only opportunity really to get out and be in touch with the services that they needed and in contact with people outside of their home. And
That's right.
very
And
important service.
In the video, we had two of our local riders, Peach McBee and
Peach McBee.
Peach McBee, and
She was
and
wonderful.
she is wonderful, and Jean Doncaster, who has since passed away. We're very sad to say. But the two things that were interesting about Peach is that she was going to move away because she was trapped out there. She couldn't drive. She can't get to where she was going. And like she said, she was spending too much time alone. And we started the July 2011, we started the Dial-A-Ride. She heard about it, and she's still here, and she's one of our regulars.
Who's on there?
She goes to bingo every Thursday, doesn't miss a beat. And Jean Doncaster was 92 and was able to stay in her own home and did not have to go to a care facility because we would go get her. And our drivers on the Dial-A-Ride will go right to the door
Right.
and
right.
escort the passenger and take the groceries up to the door. And so
They can't bring the groceries into the
we
house,
cannot
but they
cross
can, they can help them right
no,
to their front
no,
door.
right to their front door. And you have to be qualified. There's a criteria to meet that. But again, we've got such an aging demographic here that it's a wonderful service, and everybody who uses it they just love it.
Right,
and ridership
right.
is excellent.
It is a pre-qualified thing, but I think it's only $2 every time
That's
they pick
right.
up. And the regular bus is only $1.
That's right.
I mean, if I was an old guy and I was even needed a little extra help, I'd still go for the $1 bus.
Yeah,
because
and they
you save
do.
$1.
They
I
do.
know they do. I'm sure they do.
Absolutely. I mean, I
It's
would
a better
too.
deal. Yeah,
Sure,
yeah,
absolutely.
Sure. It's twice the price.
It's twice the price.
$2. What an amazing service to be able to be picked up at your door.
Right.
And taken to where you need to go, whether it be to the Jackson Rancheria or the grocery store to get some groceries. I mean,
When
it's
I
very
love
important.
what Jean said. She said it was her ticket to freedom. And that's so true because, none of us as we age, and I'm dealing with my mother right now. Of course, she's out of state, and she's starting to have issues. And no one wants to leave their home.
Right.
You don't want to be a burden to your children. You want to have that independence that you've had all your life. And public transit helps you to do that. And so, especially the Dial-A-Ride program.
Well, being an Italian from San Francisco, all of my older relatives, they lived in their homes until
Yes.
the longest possible time they could, into their 90s.
Yeah.
And transportation was always an issue.
It's one of the biggest issues.
Yeah. Well, we're going to come back in the second half and talk more about Carla Meyer and the general manager responsibilities at Amador Transit, and maybe some different issues that are going on here in Amador County.
Absolutely.
Who knows? We have butter coming out on the butter break, so stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Carla has no idea what's coming here. We've got a wild animal about to come out and spin the wheel for a prize.
All right.
So you want to stay tuned to the second half of our show, and of course the butter break in between. So please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
You're watching Amador County's local television network, TSPN.